Good day, everyone. My name is Captain Lynn Patterson, and I am the moderator today for this brief. Bonjour à tous. Je m'appelle Captain Lynn Patterson, et je suis le modérateur de la séance d'information. Please let me introduce here Rear-Admiral Craig Baines, Commander of Maritime Command Component, and Colonel James Hawthorne, Commander of 12 Wing Shearwater. Permettez-moi de vous présenter ici le Contre-Amiral Craig Baines, commandant de la composante de commandement maritime, et le Colonel James Hawthorne, commandant de la 12e Escadre Shearwater. Rear-Admiral Baines will open up the media opportunity with a statement, and Colonel Hawthorne will follow. After both statements, we will proceed with a media availability of one question each and one follow-up question. I would like to now invite Rear-Admiral Craig Baines to speak. Je voudrais maintenant inviter le Contre-Amiral Craig Baines à prendre la parole. Sir.
It is with a heavy heart that I announce that at 2 p.m. Atlantic today, 6 p.m. at the scene of the accident in the Ionian Sea, search and rescue efforts were officially transitioned into recovery efforts, following the tragic accident involving a Royal Canadian Air Force CH-148 Cyclone helicopter off the coast of Greece in the Mediterranean Sea. This decision was not taken lightly. As I mentioned yesterday, the search was executed by multiple ships, including the Fredericton and Italian and Turkish allies. This was supported by helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft from Italy, Turkey, Greece, and the United States, both during the day and at night. While searches on the sea are never easy, these units have completely saturated the area for the duration of the search over a known crash location, so we are certain that if there were survivors, we would have found them within the past 48 hours. Cette décision n'a pas été prise à la légère. Comme je l'ai mentionné hier, les opérations de recherche ont été menées par de multiples navires, hélicoptères et avions. Ces appareils ont cherché le secteur pendant toute la durée de recherche. Nous avons donc la certitude que s'il y avait de survivants, ce dernier aurait été réparé au cours de 48 dernières heures. As briefed yesterday, we know that one member, Sub-Lieutenant Abigail Cobra, a Marine Systems Engineering Officer, has died. We can now confirm that the other 5 members who were on board the aircraft are now officially considered missing and presumed deceased. They are Captain Brendan Ian MacDonald, pilot; Captain Kevin Hagen, pilot; Captain Maxime Miron Morin, Air Combat Systems Officer; Sub-Lieutenant Matthew Pike, Naval Warfare Officer; and Master Corporal Matthew Cousins, Airborne Electronic Sensor Operator. We have found additional remains, but unfortunately we have not been able to identify them. However, we will be doing everything possible in the days ahead to identify these remains. This most likely will not occur until they are returned to Canada. Le Colonel Hawthorne et moi ne sommes pas en mesure d'exprimer toute l'ampleur de la tristesse que nous accable face à la tragédie que s'est abattue sur nos camarades de bord. Nos plus sincères condoléances vont aux familles, aux amis et aux proches de 6 militaires qui se trouvent à bord de l'hélicoptère. Colonel Hawthorne and I cannot begin to express the depth of our sadness that something like this has occurred to our shipmates. To the families, friends, and loved ones of all 6 members who were on board the helicopter, we wish to express our deepest sympathies. In addition to the cockpit voice recorder and flight data recorder, we have found additional debris associated with the helicopter, including a side door and pieces of the fuselage. Our thanks go out to all those involved in the search efforts, and in particular our NATO allies operating in the area. They have been steadfast in their support thus far. The Italian and Turkish ships that are part of standing NATO Maritime Group 2 will remain on station at the scene of the accident to assist with our recovery operations for at least the next 48 hours. Now that the search has transitioned to a recovery operation, HMCS Fredericton will proceed to Italy today, and we expect it to arrive tomorrow morning local time. Before the ship departs the scene of the crash, the ship's company will hold a vigil to pay tribute to our fallen shipmates. Upon arrival in Italy, the ship will transfer the remains to our team on the ground, who will facilitate their return to Canada via Canadian military airlift. The ship will also be met by the Director of Flight Safety Investigation Team, additional chaplains and social workers, and the logistical support team. The remains of our fallen will be brought home next week. More details will be provided as soon as we've been able to make the appropriate arrangement with Italian authorities. HMCS Fredericton will remain alongside in Italy for several days in order to assist the crew through this very difficult period, and we will then return to its mission on Operation Reassurance. Once again, to the families and loved ones of the members involved in this terrible accident, we extend our deepest sympathies. As we all take time to come to terms with this tragedy, our thoughts are with you, and we stand ready to support you through these difficult times. Thank you.
Thank you, Rear-Admiral Baines. Good day. I'm Colonel James Hawthorne, Wing Commander of 12 Wing Shearwater. As stated by Rear-Admiral Baines, we are here today to announce that search and rescue efforts for the 5 missing aviators and sailors in the Ionian Sea have ceased, and we have shifted to recovery operations. With this latest development, it is with great sadness that I speak to you about the loss of 4 members of our maritime helicopter family and 2 of our shipmates. Avec ce dernier développement, c'est avec beaucoup de tristesse que je vous adresse aujourd'hui au sujet de la perte de 4 de nos membres de la famille hélicoptère maritime et 2 collègues de la Marine Royale Canadienne. From the bottom of my heart, I send my condolences to the family, friends, and members of our military family that are affected by these losses. Du fond du cœur, j'offre mes condoléances aux familles, amis et aux membres de notre famille militaire qui sont affectés par cette perte. Captain Brendan MacDonald was a proud father in a house full of boys, and one of 3 siblings in the Canadian Armed Forces. Captain Kevin Hagen's family describe him as a truly loyal, compassionate, accepting, and supportive brother to a brother and sister. Captain Maxime Morin aspired to serve in the Canadian Armed Forces since he was a cadet as a teenager, achieving that goal when he became an Air Combat Systems operator in the Royal Canadian Air Force. And Master Corporal Matthew Cousins was an outstanding aviator who kept the officers of his crew in line and focused on the mission. In this unfortunate event, our military family also lost Sub-Lieutenant Abigail Calbra and Sub-Lieutenant Matthew Pike, who were not only brothers and sisters in arms, they were friends. These proud military members died heroes, and we will always remember them. To the families of these members, remember that we are here to support you. You are part of the military family, and now we are in service to you. Vous êtes et serez toujours membre de notre famille militaire, et maintenant nous sommes à votre service. To our military family, our fallen comrades need us to be there for their family, friends, and colleagues at this time. Check on your brothers and sisters and ensure they have your support now more than ever. As a result of this accident, on April 29th, the commander of 1st Canadian Air Division, Major General Pelletier, ordered an operational pause for the CH-148 Cyclone helicopter fleet. The operational pause was put in place as a safety precaution while the Royal Canadian Air Force's Directorate of Flight Safety investigates the accident. with the objective of quickly identifying effective preventative measures that will either prevent or reduce the risk of similar occurrences in the future. The safety and security of aviators is paramount to everything we do. The flight safety investigation will ensure that our personnel can continue to have confidence in our equipment and procedures. It is not yet known how long the operational pause will be in effect. As this situation is evolving, we have no further information to provide at this time. Before I conclude my remarks, I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our fellow Nova Scotians for the outpouring of support that we have received. Despite the difficulties that this province has endured in the past few weeks, we have received flowers, hearts, messages, and flags that have been dropped off at the gate of 12 Wing Shearwater. And your support is helping to mend our broken hearts. In closing, I would like to reiterate that our military family stands together during difficult times like these, and I encourage everyone affected by this unfortunate event to reach out to those that bring you comfort. Pour terminer, j'aimerais réitérer que notre famille militaire est unie lors de ces temps difficiles et j'encourage tous ceux affectés par cet événement de ne pas hésiter à demander du support. Merci. Thank you very much.
Okay, so happy to take any questions if you have them at this point. Yep. It's really windy, so you'll have to speak up.
My first question is about the remains that have been found. If you can tell me whether they are the remains of 5 individuals, were they found close together, were they found close to Abigail Phobos? What can you tell me? I know you can't tell me IDs yet, but any of that information?
I'm afraid I cannot. All I can tell you is that we have found other remains, but we are not able to give you any more information about that. Over.
Next question is about the cyclones themselves. Those software issues with the flight control system in 2017. So those software issues with the flight control that caused the cyclone to occur in 2017. How have you overcome those?
So full investigation was involved in that scenario, and situations were developed and circumstances were developed to overcome that. A full risk procedure was conducted and determined that the helicopter was now safe to fly. The current flight safety investigation will determine exactly what happened in this occurrence and ensure that we impose mitigation measures to ensure that something like this does not happen in the future.
For the Admiral, as I mentioned.
Absolutely.
Admiral, can you tell us if there were any witnesses aboard HMCS Fredericton who saw the helicopter crash?
I'm afraid I can't. The investigation team, when they get on scene and the ship comes alongside in Italy, will meet with the ship's captain and the crew, and then they'll be able to make a determination about whether there was any eyewitnesses or not.
Can you give us an indication as to how close the impact of the helicopter was to HMCS Fredericton?
That's still to be determined, but I can tell you that it was within around 2 miles of the ship, so within that distance.
Have you had any sort of chance to determine what happened?
No, absolutely not. In fact, until the investigation team arrives and it has an opportunity to both take possession of the cockpit voice recorder, the flight data recorder, get those brought back to Canada for analysis, and they do all the interviews with the folks on the ship, they will not have any idea at this point as to what's occurred. No, because to be quite frank, right now we've been very focused on the search up to today. So the investigation team we expect will arrive sometime either very late this evening or early tomorrow. The ship will come alongside in Italy tomorrow morning. At that point, the investigation team and the ship will marry up, and then they'll be able to actually start the investigation. Okay, well listen, thank you very much for being here today. We very much appreciate it.